What's up guys? Today's video is going to be a relationship Q&A, and this is going to be obviously very casual. I have some coffee, I'm sitting on my bed, I'm literally in pajamas, I have no makeup on, and I just wanted to sit and chat with you guys because I feel like when I'm like talking about like boys and relationships, I feel like I'm talking to my friends and we're like having a little sleepover. So that's what I want to do. I just want to sit in my bed in my pajamas and drink some coffee, and I want to talk to you guys about your relationships and your boys and our non-existent relationships that we don't have. So that's what we're gonna do today. I asked you guys to please send me questions on my Tumblr because you can send them anonymously, and I know not a lot of you guys want to like send your personal information to me on Twitter, so I tweeted you guys. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, go follow me because I'm always tweeting stuff about like new videos and Q&As and stuff like that. You guys will always be like the first to know because I always will tweet it first. I mean, follow me on Instagram too. I promise I look cuter than this like on Instagram. I really don't look like this all the time. So let's just get into the questions, and the first and most asked question is how to get over an ex, and this is like literally all in my inbox. Like, you guys asked me so many questions about this. For me personally, obviously, I don't think it matters how long you dated someone. I don't think if you guys dated for years or you guys dated for a month, I do not think it matters at all how long it takes you to get over an ex. Like, it really doesn't matter. You can like be in love with someone in like a week. Like, I understand, I feel you guys. The best way for me to get over an ex was to really focus on myself, and that's what like helped me a lot going through like a bad breakup or any breakup, honestly. I think that just like listening to good music that makes you feel positive, I think that focusing on yourself, just like not moping around. I feel like a lot of people, once they're like, which I mean I did this at first as well, but I feel like a lot of people, once they like are out of a relationship, they're like, what do I do now? Who do I hang out with? What do I do? And like for me, I also know personally, not every relationship, and I'm not talking about this as an abusive relationship, but honestly, when you're in a relationship, most of the time you spend with your boyfriend, and you have somewhat limitations on like hanging out with your friends. You don't hang out with your friends as often, and that's just a given when you're in a relationship. So when I was getting over like my ex, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take this time to like be with my girlfriends and be with my family and like focus on like what makes me the happiest, because you can't put all your happiness in one person, especially not like your boyfriend, because honestly, unless there is a ring on your finger and you guys are married, then they're not going to be there forever. You can't always like rely on that one person. You can't rely on them to do everything for you and be there for you all the time, because I mean, the truth is people are shady. There's some shady people in the world. They're not always going to be there. How to dump someone nicely. I think this is the funniest question because there's no way to dump someone nicely, guys. Like, literally. So I feel like honestly it is almost harder to dump someone than it is to be broken up with. Like, it sucks to like get out of a relationship and be broken up with, but like a week later you're like, I know who I am. Like, I'm cute, I'm fine, whatever. But dumping someone, it's like you feel so bad because you know that you're hurting them and you like don't want to. Like, I don't know, it just makes me like sad. So honestly, there's no real way to dump someone. I would say the only thing I would give advice if you're breaking up with someone is be as honest as possible, because if you guys are like giving like some random excuse as to why you guys are breaking up, like, oh, I don't know, I just like not feeling it right now, when really it's like they're so rude and they're so annoying, like tell them like, this is how you treat me, you don't treat me well. Like, just be honest, because in the long run it'll come back to you like, well, you like didn't even break up with me for the right reason. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like if you're breaking up with someone, be as honest as possible, because it'll come back for you. I'm not allowed to date until I'm 16. I'm 15, but I'm talking to this guy and he has been dropping hints about hanging out and stuff, but how can I tell him that I can't date or hang out until I'm 16? I was also the same way. I wasn't allowed to text boys for the longest. I wasn't allowed to date till I was like literally in high school, and even in high school I was like kind of like, do I even date anyone? But I feel like honestly, just tell them. There's so many people that I remember like when I was in like 7th, 8th grade, I would be like, sorry, like I can't really text boys right now, or like I can't really talk to you right now, and like the guys who would just be like, oh, okay, like it's fine, we can just be friends, like those are the ones, like they're the real MVP, like right there. And honestly, there's so many guys that, okay, I don't want to say there's so many guys, but there are like a few guys that like a long time ago was like, oh, I can't date, like my parents don't want me dating, my parents don't want me texting boys, whatever. They're like, oh, okay, and then like years later, once I'm able to date, it's like they still are interested in you. I feel like that means they're really interested. If it's just like a little fling and they're just trying to like hang out and do whatever, it's better for you to just tell them that you can't talk. I don't know. How to start talking to a guy you don't really know. Okay, I feel like this is a question a lot of people ask. I feel like the easiest way in any relationship is probably being friends with them first. Being friends with a guy before you guys actually start dating is always easiest because you don't know like their past, you don't know where they've been, especially like for me in college, even in like high school, I guess. If you're meeting someone from like another school or somewhere, you don't know like what they've done in past relationships and stuff. So I always think it's best to build that friendship up and kind of figure out their personality, and then you can see if you want to date. If you just start talking to someone right away and then you guys like, oh my god, we're so cute for like 2 months, and then like a month later you find out like they cheated on their, like just crazy stuff, that is always like the worst, and then it just leaves things super awkward. So being friends with someone is always easiest because you can always go back to that friendship if it doesn't work out. I just realized I didn't really answer the question about how to start talking to guys, but how to start talking to guys would be to be friends with them first, and probably to get your friends to introduce you to them. I'm always in like a big group and I'm like, oh my god, that guy's so cute, and then my friend's like, girl, let me introduce you, and I'm like, okay, I'm like, that's a bet. Okay, so that's what I would do. Everyone is probably asking advice for their love life, but how is your love life going? Anyone special? No. It is Saturday at 12 o'clock during the day and I'm sitting in my bed talking to you guys, so my love life's going. I really liked this question. It's, how do you survive in a society where sex is valued? I'm not ready for it and I'm saving myself for marriage, so what should I do to not seem like a prude? So I really like this question just because that is something that I really value a lot, is saving yourself for marriage, and that's just my personal belief. Like, that's just what I want to do with like my body. Whatever any of you guys want to do with yours is fine, but for me, that's what I believe. And I do think it's a bit harder, especially meeting other people when every single one of your friends is like having sex or they're doing stuff and you like don't really want to. And it may not even be that you want to save yourself for marriage, it may just be like you're not ready, and that's totally okay. I dated someone for 2 years and we literally never did anything, like not a single thing. So I really don't think that that has anything to do with it. Anyone who tells you like you don't have as good as a relationship because you guys haven't had sex, I don't think that's right at all. To not seem like a prude, I don't think that that prude is the right word because you don't have sex. Like, I don't think that that's true. I know a lot of people say that and they're like, oh my god, like she's such a prude, she doesn't do anything. But honestly, you're not a prude. That's just what you don't, that's just what you want to do. You don't have sex, you want to have sex, it's up to you. But I don't think you're a prude because you don't want to do stuff. I think that you're yourself because you don't want to do stuff. Like, that's all. If a guy talks a lot about you to his friends, does that mean he likes you? Depends on what he's saying. If a guy's like talking like, oh my god, like, it depends on what he's saying. Obviously, if he's saying like rude things, then like, girl, don't be talking to him. Like, you don't need him in your life. But I mean, if a guy's like mentioning you to his friends and he's like, oh yeah, like she's cute, or like, oh yeah, I want to hang out with her, he probably is like somewhat interested in you. And I don't think guys have to be the first ones to make the first move. You can go up to them, or you can get their number and you can text them. You guys can just hang out. Also, I don't think that everything needs to be like such a date. Like, you guys don't have to like go to some fancy dinner and be like, oh my god, like we're on a date. You guys can literally like go bowling, go to the movies, hang out in a friend group, and like go to a party. Like, do something that is just like you guys getting to know each other first before you guys start going on like real dates, like one-on-one, going to eat together. That's what I would suggest. I just went through a breakup and I was weirdly cool with it. Have you ever been through something like that? Because now I'm questioning it all. Like, I did love him, etc. It just feels weird to be totally okay when it was a breakup. So I definitely can relate to this. And this isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes you can be in a relationship for a while and then you know like in your heart, like I just don't think this is gonna work, I just need to end it. You know what's better for you, so you just ended it. Like, you're just like, okay, you know what, we need to not. It's okay to be fine after a breakup. Like, for a second you're gonna be like, wait, why am I so okay right now? Like, I should be like so sad. But not everyone is sad after a breakup. Sometimes it was just something you needed to go through and then you're like, okay, that didn't work, it's fine. So I don't think you should second guess yourself just because you're feeling okay after a breakup. It's totally fine for you to feel better after a breakup. I mean, like, I know I have like multiple times. So why are you not currently in a relationship? You're so pretty. Ask Harry Styles. Ask him why I'm not in a relationship. How do you keep your faith and be patient enough to wait for the guy God is sending for you? I've been struggling with this a lot lately. I feel like anyone, and then again, this doesn't really relate to you if you guys aren't as religious or anything, but I feel like being like a Christian and even like having that faith, you guys, like, it is so hard because you always hear like stories about like, yeah, like he's just perfect for me, like God put him in my life for a reason. You're like, I really want that, like I really like God, like send me someone now to like be in my life and like get me booed up, please Lord, like help me. Which I understand it's super hard to wait for that relationship when you know like God's got your back. He always does. I always just try and put it back on like, you know what, maybe this is my time to focus on like my relationship with God. Like maybe me not being in a relationship is because he wants me to focus on a relationship with him, and so that's what I try and do to help me. I'm just like, okay, you know what, like my relationship status is like with the Lord right now. Like it is not with any boy, like it's not, that's just not what I need right now. Anyways guys, that is the end of this video. I hope you guys liked it. I know it was a little bit different. I'm just like super casual. I have like no makeup and I'm just like straight chilling right now. But I really did just want to sit down because you guys have been asking me a ton of questions. Also, I have been using Snapchat so much, which you guys know that if you have me on Snapchat. I've been trying to use it a lot more. So add me on Snap. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter and everything like that. It's always linked down below, so don't forget to subscribe, and yeah, I will see you guys next week.